Friends, we're back from Massachusetts and we met up with a couple, a husband and wife team, Maria Thomas and Rick Roberts, and they are so awesome. And they are known for what we call Zentangle. Maria Thomas, when she was 5 years old, started painting rocks. And then these rocks were in high demand, painted rocks, of course. And then they started selling out at local bazaars. And then she moved from painted rocks to lettering to botanical paintings. And then, of course, to Zentangle. In the fall of 2003, when Maria Thomas was painting, she was painting this letter with some background. Her husband, Rick, interrupted her and asked her a question. In asking her that question, she noticed that she started feeling selflessness and timelessness and effortlessness. And she was just so immersed in what she was doing. And then Rick described this process as meditation, because he studied meditation for years. They looked closely at the patterns that Maria started to create, and so Zentangle was born. Today, we're going to do our version of some Zentangle techniques, but we're going to create a composition. K to 2 friends, your work is going to look something like this. And of course, we'll use our hand as our template. And my 3 to 5 friends, our Zentangle artwork is going to look something like this. I'll see y'all on the drawing board. Hey friends, today we're going to do our version of a Zentangle turtle. And for today's lesson, we will need a blank sheet of paper, a pencil and an eraser, and a Sharpie marker. If you don't have a Sharpie, a black color pencil, black crayon, or a black marker would work. And you can have available something to create color at the end. You don't have to. I'm not going to use color today. I am just sticking to these materials in front of me. So I'm going to go ahead and clear my board. And I will start off with the head of the turtle. And that head is going to connect to the shell. And my shell I'm going to do in 2 layers. I'm going to do almost like a rim, layer 1, and then the top of the shell, layer 2. I'm going to attach the legs of the turtle now. It's 1 curved leg. We got 1 back leg over here. And a small glimpse of one of the side legs on that side. And a small glimpse of the other back leg on this side. This is just the general shape of the turtle and the underside of my turtle. And we have our tail. So I'm going to go ahead and add my Sharpie marker to my tail. And let's go ahead and add in the eye for our turtle. And our turtle shell has these little pods. So I'm going to break these up into little pods. And inside those pods, we're going to have a technique called the cogwheel. And the cogwheel is a continuous line that fills the space without stopping. This is a great one to use, especially for the back of my turtle, the shell of the turtle. And I'm going over the exact same outlines that I may have had. I am not stopping My Sharpie is one continuous line, so if I run into a spot where I am going to go over, then I am definitely going to go over with my Sharpie again. That creates the illusion that the line is continuous. Tracing back there, coming back out, one continuous line. It helps with the cogwheel if you start from the middle, and that way you can adapt or change the direction of your lines to fill the space that is needed. Some people like to start from the outside and work your way in. I can do that too, so I'm start from the outside and work my way in. That was called the cogwheel. And the next one is called a stirrup. And I'm going to use the stirrup right on his head. And the stirrup is very similar to the cogwheel. It is a continuous line, only that the cogwheel, you are adapting the line so it looks like concentric shapes that happen. The stirrup does not. So the stirrup, I'm going to start from here. And it is one continuous line. And they go back and forth. And this helps create that look of scales on the turtle. If you need to overlap some lines, please feel free to overlap some of your lines. The objective of doing the stirrup is that you don't lift a Sharpie or your pencil away from the paper. It is a continuous line. And that is the head of the turtle. The next one we will do is called the zinger, and the zinger looks like beehives that are attached to the stem. Before we place the zinger in, I'm going to add some rocks. This is just helping with my background. My rocks are all connecting. If you want, you can add in some color to your rocks afterwards. That is optional. I'm just adding in some rocks. This helps me place my turtle in an environment. Great. So my zinger looks like a circle attached to a beehive. So I'm going to have some ovals that come out of there. And notice that my ovals are overlapping just on one side. They're not overlapping on both sides. It's going to disappear behind my turtle. I'm going to do a couple of those. They kind of look like maybe some long strands of grass. Maybe a wildflower. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller as I curve it towards the top. This is called the zinger. Add a couple more in. It's gonna reappear right here. I'll have another one going here. And if you need to add in just some other grass, some very stylized grass. Okay. Our next technique is called the Knight's Bridge, and the Knight's Bridge looks like if you're playing checkers. So imagine this as a checkerboard. So this part of my turtle is going to have one wavy line followed by another wavy line. This is going to be parallel to that first wavy line. Parallel means that they never touch, but they flow in the same direction. And then I'm going to have what we call opposing lines, and these are just going to go in a curved manner. They're not going horizontal, these more have a vertical direction. Great. If I start off on one end, what I will do is I will skip a square. Skip a square. And all I'm doing is just filling in that color, my black in this instance. And then when I go to line number 2, what I'm doing is not replacing the white square or the white diamond with the same black. I'm actually going to shift it slightly over. So now this movement is called a staggered movement. So I'm going to skip one. Your pattern is white, black, white, black. So we want to maintain white, black, no matter what line you're in. So I'm here, so this is black, white. Okay, and then the same thing happens to the third line just as much as your first line. So if my first line up here is black and I've skipped it and now I'm down here and it's white, then the next color is going to be black again. Skip that one. And if you have a fourth line, you do the same. So right here, I'm going to start off with black. This is going to be white. Over here, if I moved across, this would be black again. Awesome. So for the legs, I'm going to do a process called tag. And tag looks like a bunch of U's connected, but there's a little bit of a black spot in the middle. So it looks like U's. So I'm going to do U's. And I'm shifting it so that it mimics the shape of the legs. And so I'm going to do the U's again. And my U's are going to be very similar in size. And then what I do is I come back right where they touch. I'm just going to add a little circle. This is just going to help us create a little bit of visual interest so we can identify a new you. Same process again. Sideways U's. Right where they meet, I'll put a little smaller circle. Soothe again here. And this one is called Tag, T-A-G-H. This one's going to be a little smaller since this is a back leg. Awesome. And there we have it, friends, our Zentangle turtle. I love Zentangle. That was super awesome. I can't wait to see your artwork. Remember, our artist study today are actually two, Maria Thomas and Rick Roberts, and they are a husband and wife team from Massachusetts. Maria Thomas, when she was 5 years old, she started painting rocks. Then she moved on to letters. Then she moved on to botanical paintings. And then finally, she moved on to Zentangle. After her husband, Rick Roberts, noticed the patterns that she started to create in her artwork. I will see y'all next time. Bye. Orange crayon, say bye. Bye. I'll see you next time.